These are the biggest fights to make after UFC 316. I thought it was a great event. We had some great results, some sad results as well. Sean O'Malley, I picked him to win. I got to keep reminding you guys because in hindsight, that was an awful pick. But we'll start with this fight. Sergey Spivak, Waldo Cortez Acosta. Now, by the way, I just want to say I'm not going to be matching up these other people because it's just, we'll be here for 50 minutes just trying to match up the undercard. So Spivak or Cortez Acosta, I really could not find anything for Cortez Acosta or Spivak. Heavyweight is like weird right now because I was looking at it, right? He beat Spivak. He's going to be looking at the top 5. Is he going to get a Cyril Gane fight? Probably not. Pavlovich? No. Pavlovich says he's got to fight. Volkov's not going to want to fight Cortez Acosta, I don't think. That could be a possibility, but I don't know how long Cortez Acosta is going to want to take off. Heavyweight is gridlocked right now, so I have nothing for these guys, sorry. But who cares anyways, right? Azamat Murzakanov, the professional. I say give him the loser of Roundtree versus Hill. I know that might be a bit controversial, giving him such a big jump up, but I say shoot him up to the top. He's not going to get the winner. Give him the loser of Roundtree and Hill. It matches up perfectly because they're about to fight in 2 weeks. So the timing of it is perfect. Give him the loser. Stylistically, it'd be a fun fight, of course. It'd be a good striking fight, whether it's him versus Roundtree or him versus Hill. Whoever loses that fight. And he's old. He's 35, 34. It's time to go with Murzakanov right now. So if he wants to come back maybe the end of the year, give him the loser of Roundtree and Hill. I think that's perfect, to be honest with you, because light heavyweight kind of needs new blood. And Azamat Murzakanov at light heavyweight, imagine he KOs Hill or Roundtree. Then one more and he could be looking at a title shot, depending on how they match him up. Then we could be looking at a Murzakanov versus what's his name? Magomed Ankalaev. Such a great champion. I forgot he was champ. A Magomed Ankalaev. Or even a Pereira if he wins the belt back. Or a Yuri. These, this is exciting. So let's do Murzakanov versus the loser of Roundtree and Hill. Brenson Ribeiro. I don't care. I think he should retire. I don't know. Fucking light heavyweight. Unranked. Who's that guy that fought Alonzo Manyfield? Juicy J? Is that his? I don't know. Who cares? Brenson Ribeiro, just go to the PFL. Joshua Van the GOAT, the Myanmar King. You guys know what I want to see. I want to see Joshua Van versus Brendan Moreno. I think that's perfect. Joshua Van versus Brendan Moreno. I think that's the perfect fight. I think Joshua Van legitimately has a good chance of winning that fight. I think it'd be a back and forth scrap. Not much to really say there. I think Joshua Van versus Brendan Moreno is perfect. I want to see it. Main event of UFC Noche in Texas. I think Joshua Van is from Texas, so I think it's perfect. Yeah, there's not much to say. Stylistically, it's fantastic. I think giving him that big of a jump up is fair. If Umar Nurmagomedov can go from being unranked to then getting Corey Sandhagen to then getting a title shot, then Joshua Van can get Brendan Moreno when he is already ranked himself. So, incredible performance. Give him Brendan Moreno. If not that, then there's not a lot of open spots at flyweight. So I think that's perfect. It matches up timing-wise. Moreno didn't fight that long ago, so there you go. And as for Bruno Silva, flyweight, give him Matt Schnell. There you go. Matt Schnell versus Bruno Silva, I guess. I don't know. Kevin Holland beat Vicente Luque. I want to see Kevin Holland versus Colby Covington. I think that's perfect. He called out Covington. There's not much to say. I think that's the perfect fight. I think the trash talk would be phenomenal. The build-up would be phenomenal. The fight itself might be a bit... No, I actually think the fight itself would be good. I think it'd get a little bit scrappy. I think, Colby, he'd have to make it a bit dirty, right? But at the same time, the grappling of Kevin Holland is really good, man. He does have phenomenal jiu-jitsu. So Colby can't just... He has to be very careful with his grappling. It'd have to be a very patient Colby Covington. It does excite me. It does excite me. It's going to be two guys going back and forth trash talking. Two guys going back and forth. Don't excite John Jones when I say that, but there's going to be good trash talk. It's going to be exciting. I think that's perfect. I was thinking maybe like a Jorge Masvidal as well, but I prefer Holland versus Colby. Scheduling wise, it makes sense. You throw that on the main card of a pay-per-view. You could even main event a fight night with this fight. Whatever the case may be, it's one of those fights you could just put on any card, fight night, or whatever the case may be. This will definitely be like the feature fight of a pay-per-view, though, knowing the UFC. They're not main eventing a fight night with this one, but you never know. Colby just main evented a fight night, so I think it's perfect. As for Vicente Luque, legitimately, I wish he would have retired after the brain thing, because I can't think of any other option. Like, the only options are people outside the rankings, and it's going to be guys like Brian Battle, Randy Brown, Oban Elliott, Ramiz Brahimaj. Just killers, bro. Killers, man. I think he should have just retired. Honestly, I say maybe do him versus Randy Brown, I guess. Good name for Randy Brown. Yeah, I guess do him versus Randy Brown if he's gonna stick around. Scheduling wise, it makes sense. It matches up. Stylistic wise, it's winnable for Vicente. Of course, it's winnable for Randy Brown. I'd probably pick him to win as well, sadly. If not that, if Oban Elliott wins, you give him... If Oban Elliott wins his next fight, he's on a 4-fight winning streak. Especially if he gets a finish. Him versus Vicente Luque. I don't know. There's names for sure, but it's just like, do I want to see Luque take more punishment? Because I can't see him beating a lot of these killers at... He's in the worst division as well. He's in the most stacked, most dangerous division in the UFC right now. He's not a middleweight. He's not a light heavyweight. He's not a heavyweight. He's at welterweight. The most... Makachev is moving up, bro. He's cooked. He's cooked. So, it is what it is. Mario Batista beat Patchy Mix. He messed up all our parlays. Mario Batista. I say... I'm looking at my notes here. I say rebook the Marlon Vera fight. Because what are the other options? Like, I think Song Yadong versus Umar is a possibility. Figueiredo might be out for a while. I'm not sure the extent of his knee injury. But that could be an option for O'Malley as well. You could do a Figueiredo O'Malley, right? Rob Font. I say just do the Cheeto fight. Cheeto's still high up in the rankings. Just rebook it. Cheeto, he's ready. He did pretty much like more than half of a training camp, so he's going to be in shape. He's ready. You could rebook it. Mario Batista didn't take too much damage. He probably will be looking for a decently quick turnaround. Batista, Cheeto Vera. I have to burp. It's not coming out. I don't know what card. You throw that on any card, maybe in October, August. Not August is too soon, I guess. September. I don't know. Who cares, really? I don't even really want to see the fight. Patchy Mix. Now, I've got an interesting name for Patchy Mix, but hear me out. Patchy Mix versus Raul Rosas Jr. Now, I know. Raul Rosas, I just think like Raul Rosas Jr. has been... They keep giving him cans for no reason, and it's just doing nothing for him. And I think giving him a name like Patchy Mix, who is a name still, even though his stock is plummeted, like he's still going to be a name. And I say give him Patchy Mix. I say do Raul Rosas versus Patchy Mix. I think scheduling-wise it makes sense. Rosas not that crazy active either, to be honest with you, which is surprising because he doesn't take a lot of damage, but it is what it is. I don't know. Patchy Mix, Mario Batista. Excuse me, Patchy Mix, what's his name? Raul Rosas. Mario Batista and Raul Rosas. They kind of look similar. I mean, they're both of their faces are pretty interesting, but nonetheless, Patchy Mix versus versus Raul Rosas Jr. No, seriously though, Patchy Mix, Raul Rosas Jr. I think it's a good fight. Stylistically, like it's also like it's stylistically going to be interesting because you have a guy who's going to want to take it to the ground in Raul Rosas, and then Patchy Mix has great ground game. So to be honest, I could even see Patchy Mix winning that. I don't know. I don't even know how good Patchy Mix is. This is the problem. I really thought he was going to beat Mario Batista. He didn't even put up a fight. Like, if he at least lost like a split decision, I'd be like, it is what it is. He didn't even put up a fight. So I don't know the level of how good he is. There's names outside bantamweight. Maybe if Peyton Talbot wins his next fight, you could do Peyton Talbot versus Patchy Mix. Maybe that's the thing. Maybe if Garbrandt wins his next fight, do Garbrandt, Patchy Mix. But I think Patchy Mix, Raul Rosas Jr. is kind of perfect because, again, Raul Rosas Jr. is missing that name. He's missing that name on his resume right now. He's going through all these cans, and it's just like, cool. He needs a name. And, he doesn't need to rank someone in the rankings yet, but just some sort of name outside the rankings. And I think Patchy Mix could be that name, So that's what I would do. Joe Pyfer, the salty man. I actually saw like an Instagram reel of Joe Pyfer saying that he's embracing the salt. He's embracing that he's the salty man, Joe. So shout out to Joe Pyfer for that. I got a good one here. Joe Pyfer versus Michel Pereira. Joe Pyfer versus Michel Pereira. I think it's perfect. What's his name? Michel Pereira was just ranked. He's not ranked anymore, I don't believe. And yeah, Joe Pyfer, to me, he's kind of one win away. Then he can get like a top 10, top 15 name. I don't think giving him a ranked opponent off of one win is like fully fair, especially because he didn't get like a crazy KO. So I say do Joe Pyfer versus Michel Pereira. Stylistically, it'd be very fun. It's one of those where you see that on a paper and you're like, ooh, that's a nice fight. Joe Pyfer, Michel Pereira. Or, some people might pick. I'd pick Joe Pyfer. Michel Pereira's looked kind of awful in his last two fights, so I'd pick Joe Pyfer for sure. But it'd be a good fight. I really think it'd be a good fight. It'd be interesting. I could see it's not going to be boring, Pyfer has decent cardio. I could see it being exciting. So I think that's stylistically perfect. It matches up well because Pereira just fought not that long ago. So I don't think that's a bad idea. And again, with these matchups, you do have to take into consideration the timing, right? So I could say, let's do Joe Pyfer versus, Sharon Magomedov, but he's about to fight. So Pyfer versus Michel Pereira. I almost forgot his name. I think that's perfect. So Kelvin Gastelum, I say do him versus Marco Tulio. Marco Tulio, you guys know I'm a Marco Tulio enjoyer. I ranked him very highly on my UFC prospects tier list. Go check that out. I uploaded a couple weeks ago. Kelvin Gastelum versus Marco Tulio is a great fight because it's a guy like Marco Tulio who is not like Pyfer. He knows how to throw combos. He has great pressure. He has, good jiu-jitsu, good grappling as well. And Gastelum, I didn't mind the way Gastelum looked against Pyfer, especially in that third. He won the third round, in my opinion. And if it was a 5-rounder, there's a chance Kelvin Gastelum rallies back and wins a 5-round decision against Joe Pyfer, which is insane to say. And so I think Gastelum versus Marco Tulio is a pretty sick fight. Throw that on like a prelim main event. Oh my god, that fight is fantastic to me. Or like a fight night co-main event, Gastelum versus Tulio. Oh, that fight to me is perfect. Like that's just such a stylistically it'd be a fun fight, and I think it'd be imagine Marco like that's such a good win for Marco Tulio if he would beat a name like Kelvin Gastelum as well. So I think that's awesome. I think that's awesome matchmaking. So yeah, sign me UFC. Co-main event. Kayla Harrison beat Juliana Pena. Obviously, you got to do her versus Nunez. Duh, right? Like I'm not gonna. Oh, no, we should do her versus Macy Chasson. No, do her versus Amanda Nunez. It's the fight to make. There's not much else to say. I think, surprisingly, it's a women's fight I'm excited for. I think it'd be good. I honestly think Kayla Harrison might win it, The more I think about it, the more I think about the age, the more I think about the... Stylistically, it's kind of like, yes, Nunez is good on the feet. But it's just like her age and the ring rust and the... I don't know, man. Is she coming back just for the payday of it? I could see Kayla Harrison really winning this one, She every time she uses her grappling, she just looks so much stronger than her opponent. But that's why it's a great fight because at the same time, I think that Nunez is much, much better on the feet. Maybe not much better. It's women's MMA. She has KO power. Let's just say that. She has KO power, so I think she could really win a fight against Kayla Harrison. But again, 50-50 fight, so I say do that. It's perfect. I could totally see them trying to make that a pay-per-view main event. I don't want to see that. I much prefer that as like a co-main event to like maybe like an Aspinall Gone. Pereira Inc. Alive, I could see that being a co-main event too. or maybe like a JDM versus Makachev. I don't know. There's options. I mean, there's so many title fights. I feel like they honestly, because the UFC, this first half of the UFC has been so bad. The second half better be like the best we've ever seen, and I think it has potential to be very good. But then again, they're doing Volk versus Yair, so what? Ugh. Anyways, Pena back to McDonald's. I don't know, man. Ketlin Vieira, Macy Chasson. Those are names, I guess. I don't care. I just don't care. I just don't care. She's not good. She's probably just gonna retire and just, doesn't she have a kid? Just, I don't know. Just goodbye. Merab, obviously, we're gonna do Merab versus the kid Corey Sandhagen. Imagine I'm like, no, we're doing Merab versus Umar too, kid. No, we're doing Merab versus Corey, of course. Perfect fight. I'm amped for that fight. I'm excited for that fight. Stylistically, I think Corey will do a lot better than Sean O'Malley because he has better scrambles. He has better jiu-jitsu. I think he kind of has better pressure than O'Malley. Maybe that's unfair to say because of recency bias, but I don't know. I like the way he looked against Figueiredo in his last fight. I liked how much he was just kind of in Figgy's face, just constantly thrown, constantly feinting, which O'Malley's good at, but it's just like, I don't know, man. Maybe O'Malley's so scared of the takedown threat. We'll get to O'Malley, but we'll get to O'Malley because I got a really kind of crazy person I think you should face. But seriously though, Corey Sandhagen, let's get back to this. Corey Sandhagen, I think stylistically does match up a bit better against Merab. Again, he got the jump knee. He's got the wheel kicks. I know Sean does as well, but Corey's good, man. He's dynamic. He's rangy. Again, great jiu-jitsu, great scrambles. I think he's got a good chance. It probably would be like a decision. Wait for it. See, I have to burp, but it's never coming out. It probably would be like a decision, but then again, I don't know, man. I thought Merab was gonna lose a decision to Sean, so maybe Merab is just gonna spinning elbow KO Corey Sandhagen. Who knows? Who knows, bro? Seems like he's improving. Bro, Merab was bad and he won the belt. Imagine now a good version of Merab. This is insane. So Merab versus Sandhagen, phenomenal fight. And, you know, it should happen very soon. Like, this should happen September, October. Well, is there even a card in September? I don't know, but October, I guess. Main event of Abu Dhabi. There you go. Umar could be on that card against somebody. Who cares? I don't even care about Umar. Fuck him. And, yeah, honestly, I think that's a good idea. As for Sean O'Malley, this one might shock you guys. So first of all, I do not think Sean O'Malley should stay at bantamweight. I don't know if that's controversial. I do not think he should stay at bantamweight. I think we should do Sean O'Malley moving to featherweight. Sean O'Malley versus Diego Lopez. Now hear me out. Just hear me out. I know it's crazy. I know it's kind of random. But I think it makes sense. Scheduling wise, Diego Lopez fought 2 pay-per-views ago. So it was a little bit ago, and he is kind of looking to come back, I know. But I do think this is the best move for Sean. Moving up, putting on some muscle. Diego, again, he is looking to fight, I know that. But there's no one for him to fight. Yair seemingly is going to get the next title shot. I've already ranted about that so much. I'm not going to rant about that here. Yair's getting the next title shot. Movsar's facing Aaron Pico. Gene Silva says he has a fight. And if it's not, obviously it's not Diego because he's this week is calling out Yair. And Yair's fighting Volk. So it's just like Arnold Allen, you know, Aljamain Sterling. Like he's going to have to fight. Like, to me, Sean O'Malley, bulk up a little bit, move to featherweight. Let's get this fight going for like October maybe. September, November. I don't know. I don't know when Sean wants to, because I don't know if Sean's going to just be super active or not. I'm not sure. Scheduling wise, I'd say do it. Sean O'Malley, Diego Lopez. Big fight at the end of the year. Again, not many other options for Sean at bantamweight. and there's no open spots for Diego at featherweight. So yeah, I don't know. Unless you guys want to see what O'Malley's not. They're not gonna do O'Malley Umar. They're not doing that. They're just not. O'Malley Rob Font. O'Malley Figueiredo maybe. No. Peter Yan's facing McGee. They're not doing that. Maybe if McGee wins, maybe you could do Marcus McGee, Sean, but are they training partners? Like, I know Tim Welch always talks about Marcus McGee, so they might be training partners. This is the problem. Like, and even if Sean O'Malley, let's say he beats a Marcus McGee or a Peter Yan, he's not going to beat Merab because I think Merab is not losing that belt. So why should he stay at bantamweight? He's only 30. You might as well just bulk up. We've seen guys do that and have success. We've seen Poirier have a little career at featherweight, kind of get KO'd a couple times, bulk up, move up to lightweight, have the success he's had. I think O'Malley can do the same, honestly. Skill-wise, I think he'd already probably be the best striker, maybe behind Volk, at featherweight. So, unless I'm not thinking of anyone, I think he's technically better than Gene Silva. Yeah, he'd probably be the second best striker at featherweight. So I think Sean O'Malley 100% should move up, put on a little bit of muscle, not fat, just some muscle, man. Hit the weights. Don't Jay Depine. Maybe he should. Maybe that's the best base, is Jay Depine. So I don't know. But that's what I got for O'Malley. That's what I got for all these guys. That's it. Those are the matchups I do. I've been stuttering, I feel like, this whole video. But those are the matchups that I would do. Make sure you guys like and sub. Become a member in the description. Do you guys agree with my matchups? Would you guys change any matchmaking? I know O'Malley versus Diego is a bit wild, a bit out there, but I think it's good. I think it's a bit different, and I think O'Malley should move up, and Diego doesn't have anyone. So that's what I got for you guys. Peace.